So here's the thing. If you can get your investments to be active income, then that's great. But what most people do is they have a job or a business that earns money, but it's active income. In other words, you're working, in a job hourly or getting paid for your time, or you're making money in your job, or you're making money in your business, but you're working it, right? You're working 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 5 hours, whatever, you're working. Then what you want to do is you want to take that money and you want to invest it. Because where's the money going to come from, right? You take that money and you invest it, and this ends up being one of your passive income structures. And then you take the money from here and you build that up with more investment, right? So this is your machine, your money machine right here. And now you take that money machine, whatever it spits out, and you put it into here. So, and of course you have methodology of actually making active income on your investment side too. So it's a bit of a puzzle. It's a methodology, a formula that I like to say, because I thought it was one thing. I thought it was, if you have the right vehicle, the right business at the right time, you got in at the right business at the right time, and I wouldn't doubt that happens with investments too, then you're going to get rich, because other people are getting rich. They're getting rich in opening coffee shops or yogurt stores or fitness stores or whatever it is, which I ended up doing. And or they're in this business or that business or whatever's hot at the time, and they're doing well, and they get in on it and they make a lot of money, right? No, some do, but most don't, right? Because they don't have the rest of it. So there's a formula, and the formula looks like a little triangle. And it says you need to have the right vehicle at the right time. You need to have the right knowledge. And you need to have the right you. Well, I didn't know that. I especially didn't know this one. I didn't know that I was in any part of this formula. What is that? What is that formula? So the right vehicle is obviously the right business, the right situation, and from investments, right vehicle is imperative, because if you get into the right vehicle at the wrong time or the wrong vehicle at the right time, it's over, right? Well, it's the same in any business. So like today, for example, with this whole COVID situation, there are some businesses to totally get into right now, and other businesses to completely steer away from. And anything that has to do with, right now, if I was starting my business career, I really believe I would make tens of millions in the next couple of years or more. I mean, some of these things is so obvious of what's going to happen, because what's happening now with COVID, I'm going to let everybody know, because you already know this, that's going to stay. People aren't going to go back to their offices if they don't have to, because the companies are going to figure out and going, and we have 1,000 employees, of which 950 are able to work from home, maybe a little less efficiency, but now with new electronic, digital, online methodologies, platforms to make it even more efficient, which is still open. Zoom can't be the only one for very long. Hello. Okay, whoever's the next one's gonna make another $1 billion and sell it to whoever, right? To Facebook or to Microsoft or somebody. And there'll be dozens of them. And plus little pieces of that platform. Okay, we can make the cameras better. We can make the recordings better. We can do this part better. We can make the sound better. All those type of things. So they're figuring out, they're going, okay, 950 to 1,000 people are working from home. We're doing well. It's all great. And why do we have this 50,000 foot office building that we're paying $1 million a year for? For what reason? No, we're not doing that anymore. You know what? That's going to be the wave of the future. So what can you do to give people an opportunity to work at home? What are the tools, whatever? If I was going to just get into one thing right now, I would be an online home office package specialist. Right there, boom. And whether it's, we have the best selection of desks and computers and microphones and this and that, and you need your stationery, all that stuff, boom, delivered to your home, set up by our people in 60 minutes or less. You have your office, boom, done. Whatever it was. So all these opportunities are so obvious, because whatever people are doing now, they're going to keep doing, right? And social elements that have to be done online now. So, we have live courses, and they're not really happening right now. But there is one company, for example, that is doing Zoom-based programs live but they're doing it in a huge way. And I went down to see their presentation hall. It looks like it's a seminar with, I'm not kidding you, there's 500 monitors up there where you can see each one of them has 4 people in it. So you can put 2,000 people you're looking at. It's like looking at people in the audience, in a room. And you're talking to them. Who wants to raise that? Okay. Who wants to answer that? Oh, Jim over there. Jim, can you put the camera? Jim, no. And boom, there he is. It's like they're not going to be the only ones for long, So just think of what's working now, what people are needing now, what problems they have now, and jump into that. My goodness, of course. So bottom line, you need the right vehicle at the right time. You need the right knowledge. There's 2 kinds of knowledge. One is business in general business knowledge. And the other one is business-specific knowledge. That means you have to understand general business, like things like marketing, sales, negotiations, finance, hiring, firing, all those type of things, putting a team together, managing, all those type of things, right? So you need to understand all the general business, but business-specific. Like if someone's going to be in the training business, the information they need about the training business is business specific about how do you succeed in the training business? What do I need to know about the training business? If someone else was going to be in the water business, they need to know all about water and packaging and bottling. In whatever business you're in, you are going to be the best in the world. To get paid the best, you got to be the best. And then there's this one, the triumvirate. And this is the root right here. It's the right you. The right you. One day I was so depressed. It was my 9th business that had gone down the drain. I covered up the mirrors in my house, my condo. I was living in my parents' condo in Florida because they weren't there and I couldn't afford rent. I covered up the mirrors. I wouldn't answer the phone. I wouldn't go out. I wasn't eating. And I was just totally, I'd never been depressed before, but I was just like, I was crying all the time. How could this happen to me? I was so embarrassed. I was so disappointed in myself. And finally I said, okay, I got to get some air, and so I pulled off the first sheet off the mirror and I looked in the mirror and I had a bit of a scruff and I looked in the mirror and I went, you're the problem. Just like that. It just came out of me. I never thought of it. It said, you're the problem. I said, I'm the problem? Like, what the, how could I be the problem? Yeah, and then it really started to dawn on me. It's like, are you the kind of person that could be wealthy? Are you the kind of person that will be successful in an arena? And I looked at my habits, and I looked at my mindset, and I looked at my character at the time. And to be honest, I said, no, I don't work that much, okay? I got more ideas than putting in hours. I don't have good habits. I'll get up when I get up and I go on and I go to sleep at 2, 3 in the morning, and I still was partying in my 20s and going to clubs and bars and dancing, and I was single. So that says all that needs to be said about that. And it was like Friday you didn't work because it's almost a weekend. Saturday you're partying. Saturday night you're like whatever. Sunday you're recovering. Monday you're still recovering. Got a half day of Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday maybe, and then it's back to Friday. It's like I started thinking about that. I said, you're not the what. I wrote down. I said, what would be the ultimate success robot? Like if you could paint a person that was this is the kind of person, this is the character they would have, this is the habits they would have, this is the beliefs they would have, this is the mindset they would have. What would that look like? And I wrote them all down, and I didn't have any of them. I was like completely a 0 out of 20. So that was my next thing. I said, you know what? I need to work on me. And something happened with my son I don't want to get into right now, depending on our time, but something happened with my son. He was 6 months old, and I was so, at the time, like upset, angry, disappointed that he started crying, and I was on the phone with a deal that wasn't going well like usual, and I held the phone. I screamed at him at the top of my lungs, like right in front. Shut the fuck up! I was screaming at him, and he just was. And he kept his mouth open, his eyes open, literally for like a minute. I went, he's like in shock. I killed my son. Like, what the hell did you just do? I said, I gotta call you back. And I put it down. I picked him up and I put him to my heart and I started weeping and crying. I said, Jesse, I am so sorry. This will never happen again. I promise you, I will be the best dad in the entire world from this moment on. You will never get that from me again. Okay, I pray that you can forgive that. And I just realized you're not the kind of guy you want to be. So I changed all of my learning, et cetera, to personal growth, personal development. And I started working on my mindset. I started working on my habits, my character for sure. And that changed everything. That made the biggest difference of all. That's why you need these three things. You can have the greatest character, but if you got a crappy vehicle, what good is it?